In my mind, I have a framework that I developed for the Business Forum, which says actually there's 4 distinct pieces of work to be done in this space. The one is to go in and do what we've been talking about and say, go and identify the risk to well-being and go and build in proactively the factors that we know people protects their well-being. And so in my mind, that's what I call that's the protect work. The resiliency training work sits for me in what I call foster, which is again proactively go in and actually help people build up their capability to deal with adversity, because adversity will come, challenges come to all of us at any point in time. So can we proactively give people the understanding what they can do and what can an organization to work in that space proactively. So 5 Ways to Wellbeing is a good example. I think if you as an individual or an organization puts into place strategies where you can say, we don't have to wait for people to be struggling before we can actually start connecting, start keep learning and all that sort of stuff. The third area of work, I think, is when people are struggling, and we know those numbers, 1 in 4, 1 in 5 in your workplaces, our workplaces, then what do we have in place to support people so that, again, if you think of mental health continuum, we can reverse the flow of that, if you can think of it in that way, rather than them moving further down that continuum to the point which they actually are harmed. So and I call that these things that people in organization can do to restore the well-being of people. And so peer coaching, peer support work, the work that having a quiet room in your workplace where people can go down and just take some time out. So very individually focused, and it is reactive because people are starting to travel along that continuum, but they haven't got to the point where we're going to go to the 4th piece of work, which I would call the support work, where you say, actually, this person now needs some medical counseling support. And my argument has always been in this space, which is, it's not a matter of either or. You actually need all 4 of those. You need to be proactively looking at what's causing some level of distress and trying to eliminate or minimize, and you doing good design work. You foster in a proactive way people's well-being, giving strategies so that, they're in a better position when life gets a little bit hard. And when people are struggling, we try and step in early before they have to go to the EAPs. And then, as we all know, we fall through the cracks at some point in time. And it's important that we then have some way of trying to get some support. So for me, there is, if we are going to be really, if we're going to have some significant impact, we can't play, it's like any game of sport. You can't play in 1/4 of the game. You can't play, a good game doesn't occur in 1/4 of the field. It occurs across all 4 quarters. So I think in addition to resiliency, but it's foster building work if it's done proactively. Resiliency building could be restore work if it's done because people are struggling. But if we don't do the risk assessment, good design piece, and if we don't have the supports there, we still shortchange. So for me, it's quite clear in my mind that there's 4 distinct different types of work that needs to be done. If you go back to the view around New Zealand, I've recently just done a bit of work myself where I've mapped what people are doing across organizations that take this seriously into those 4 quadrants and 4 approaches. And no surprise, the work that's been done is in the EAP, the support space, and in the foster space, and very little work, almost no work done in the risk assessment, good design piece. And so, it's very clear to me where we need to be pacing our energy, because that's not where we've been focusing over the last couple of years.